the same time, which is really cool. So right now I live in Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm actually from the Chicago area and then lived in Dallas for 5 years. And then 3 years ago, we moved here and we low key love it. Never thought I would live in Little Rock, but here we are. So I want to share with you guys a little bit about kind of taking on the CEO mindset of your business, which I feel like this term kind of gets thrown around a little bit when it comes to like network marketing and stuff. So hear me out though when I'm sharing these things, because I was the girl who signed up. 2 weeks after I signed up, my coach, like I never heard from her again. And I was like, am I supposed to like run a group? Like, what am I doing? Do we have team calls? And she kind of just like went on her own path. I was the last coach she ever signed up, but she kind of went on her own path, started doing some life coaching stuff, but she never canceled her Beachbody account. So she's still my coach, but I've never like rolled up to a working upline coach. So it's me. And then I have 3 inactive, like not actually working coaches, and then the next working coach. So I'm like 4 deep before there was ever a working coach. And so I had no idea what I was doing, but I made it happen because I knew I wanted it to happen. So before we get into this call, I want you to get into the mindset that truly you are the boss of your business. Your upline does not determine your success. Your team doesn't even determine your success. Well, it's great to have a thriving team that loves community, loves each other, gets together in person. That doesn't determine your success. You can literally learn anything and everything about this business, you guys, from other people who have gone before you, whether they're on your team or not, from Google and YouTube. I'm on an inside dead leg. I had no help, no team. I dropped Emerald after I initially hit it. It took me almost a year to go Diamond. And the first year that I went for Elite, we felt so embarrassingly like far from it. And I know for a lot of people, they would have been like, oh man, I guess I'm like, I can't be a diamond coach. And I was like, okay, what do I need to change next year? So I have, while it's fun to like hear those accolades, I also want you to know I've had so many like failures along the way, which are really just like missed goals and opportunities to reset those. So I want to give you guys 5 kind of thoughts around how I treat this like a business and how I did that from the beginning when no one knew who I was. No one was following me on Instagram for ideas or inspiration. And then I'm going to kind of break down how I actually like do that in my business. So number 1, I'm just going to briefly go over these. Number 1 is, what is my goal with coaching? Number 2 is, what is my baseline minimum? Number 3, am I doing the things that I need to do to move my business forward? Number 4, what do I need to help propel me forward? And number 5, what are the things that are slowing me down? I'm going to drop these in the chat because I know someone's freaking out that they just missed all of those. Okay, so what does this look like in my business? So my goal when I started coaching was I wanted to make enough money to quit and stay quit from my nursing job to be home with my future babies. So had literally just gotten married in August. I started coaching that following October, and I was an RN in the hospital and was so sick of feeling anxiety and stress every time I would go to work. I would say I was a great nurse. Like my patients really enjoyed me, my coworkers and I had great relationships. I was, well liked by physicians and things like that. I liked my job, but I hated how stressed out I was and feeling like I was spread so thin. I was like, I cannot do this the rest of my life. I can't. I love helping people. I love helping people get healthy, but I can't do this. And so for me, my goal was like, okay, if through coaching, I can still help people be healthy and I can still help them on their journey, but I need to make enough money to quit this nursing job and stay home with future babies so I don't have to go back to work. At the time, my husband was teaching. He was not making enough where I was not going to have to work. And so this was kind of my plan A, and I had no plan B. And I wasn't allowing myself to have a plan B, because if we do, then we don't really actually give enough to our plan A to actually see it work. So my goal was to make enough money. My other goal was to consistently help at least 3 to 5 people every month experience the freedom that I had experienced through these products and programs. Listen, did you hear what I said? My goal was to help 3 to 5 people. It's so cool when we hear these other coaches, and I'm not saying they're wrong, say, I invite 100 people a day. My goal is you need a 10x and your goal is SC 100. That's great. But for me, as someone who was working full time, newly married, I was also working part time for Young Life at the time. That just wasn't doable for me. I wasn't going to be able to do that consistently. And I knew, again, this was my plan A, and I wasn't going to go anywhere. I was telling myself, like, I will be here 5 years from now. So if I could consistently help 3 to 5 people every month, I knew that I was going to steadily grow a business, and it wasn't going to be something I burnt myself out on. So you can go 100 miles an hour, but can you maintain going 100 miles an hour? I don't know, probably not. So for me, I was like, I'm set the goal of 3 to 5 people every month, that obviously means you're hitting Success Club, helping these people experience freedom through the products and programs. So you have to know your goal. What's going to propel you to keep going when you have a hard month, or when you get no's and things like that? Because if you're just copying somebody else's goal, it's not going to carry you through when things are challenging, or when you have an off month, or when your motivation starts to dip. So what's going to be the thing that starts getting you up at 5 a.m, or keeps you up an hour later at night to make sure that you get that power hour in when your family is sleeping? What's going to be that thing? I know we talk about our why a lot, but if you feel like you're kind of like, sometimes you're working, sometimes you're not, then you haven't found your goal. You haven't found the thing that's actually going to keep you going when it's really, really hard. And you need to do a little bit of work on that. Okay, number 2, my baseline minimum. What's my baseline minimum? This means when I am traveling, or the holidays, or life is crazy, what am I doing no matter what? No matter what's happening in life, what am I showing up to do? And for me, that was Success Club, the business activity tracker every day, Monday through Friday. These are still my baseline minimums. That Success Club, business activity tracker, Monday through Friday. A lot of the times I would also work on Saturday before I had kids. And I would send messages to everyone in my group, was just like, hey, how are things going? Anything I can help you with? That was so powerful in the beginning, maintaining those one-on-one relationships. But anyway, now I'm like Monday through Friday. If I do something on the weekend, it's a bonus for me, which oftentimes I do because I like it. But anyway, Monday through Friday is kind of my minimum. This business, you guys, isn't actually that hard if we think about it. Like, filling out the things that are on the business activity tracker, they're not hard, right? Like, sending a message to someone isn't physically challenging. It's more like getting over the sitting down to actually do it, right? Or our fear of them saying no. So it's not that hard. Get out your business activity tracker, do it every day. You guys, consistency is not something that you have to, it's not a skill that you have to be born with or something. Everyone can be consistent. And so let that be the thing that kind of takes you to the next level and allows you to kind of outwork other people around you. So get out your bat, do it every day. If you find that one area is harder for you. So for me, especially at the beginning, it was the inviting. I was like, what do I say to people? I don't know. I want to sound genuine. I am genuine. I am excited. This has been so life-changing for me, but how do I communicate that without sounding like a weirdo? That was a big thing for me. And then social media. I was like, I am so awkward in front of a camera. I've never posted anything fitness related on my social media in my life. How do I do that? So if you find something that's harder for you, those are my 2 areas. Start watching training on those things. Binge watch YouTube trainings on those things. When you are normally watching Netflix, or when you are in the car, or when you are getting ready for the day, putting your makeup on, YouTube, all of those trainings, there's somebody who has shared what's working. And especially with inviting, the more I heard what other people were saying, I wasn't copying what they were saying, but the more I heard what other people were saying, I was like, okay, here's how I change that so that it sounds like what I would say. And I became more confident in that. So figure out your baseline minimum. And I haven't said this, but I think it was kind of, I don't know, known, but my 3 to 5 people every month, that meant that one of my baseline minimum goals was hitting Success Club, no matter what happened. Okay, so number 3 is do the thing to move your business forward. So am I doing the things that I need to do to actually move my business forward? Okay, this is a gut check question for me at least once a week. You got to reflect. And I think sometimes, especially if you're like an Enneagram 7, or especially I'm a 3, that you're an achiever, or 7s who just like love to have fun, we don't necessarily like to like reflect, right? Because it reminds us of like either bad feelings or a failure or missed goal or something. But you've got to reflect. If you are going to be a business owner, you have to look back and say, what worked, what didn't work, what do I need to change moving forward? You have to kind of be able to detach your emotions from the business things, which can be difficult in a business where it's a lot of relationships, right? And it's a lot of like hitting ranks or hitting goals and things like that. But you got to detach yourself a little bit if you want to truly get yourself into that like business mindset. Because once we start getting so emotional about it, that's where like inactivity starts to happen and fear starts to set in. So what do I need to be doing to move my business forward? Especially if you're not hitting Success Club, if you're not Diamond yet, why? Why haven't you hit those goals yet? Why are we not Diamond? Why are we not hitting Success Club consistently? Because as a business owner, we have to be willing to self-assess and give ourselves a little bit of tough love. So for me, nap time is work time. Like it has to be. That's my only time in the day right now that I have where there's no interruptions, and it's a pretty solid 3-hour window. So that means no scrolling, right? Reels, TikTok, super fun to scroll, so mindless. But your time goes like that and nothing has been accomplished, and you haven't done anything to help your family. You haven't done anything to move your business forward. All you've done is watch random people on social media. So you got to be really honest with yourself. Am I wasting time scrolling? I can't lay down and take a nap no matter how tired I am when my kids are napping, because that's my work time. So I have to be disciplined. Now, when I was a brand new coach, no kids, was still working full time, I was not the 5 a.m. girl. But it was the only time that I was going to have consistently in my day if I wanted to make this thing work. So I was like, all right, I'm going to start going to bed at 9:30 and I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. no matter what, Monday through Friday. And I'm going to work my business 5 to 6. I'm going to have my Bible study time 6 to 6:45 and then go to my job. Okay. So I would do that every single day. So you got to get honest with yourself. Like, if you're comparing yourself to someone who maybe just went Diamond or someone who's further along than you, and you look at your schedule and you're like, I'm not actually doing the thing I need to do to move my business forward. I'm not stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm not making that time in my day where I can have a solid power hour. You guys, if you have kids, our day is like sometimes so up in the air. So when is your consistent time where you have no distractions, where things can't like go crazy and, you know, someone's throwing a tantrum or whatever? For me right now, that's nap time. Maybe for you, it is 9 p.m. when like that's the only time that people are going to be asleep and you're going to have uninterrupted time. You got to be honest with yourself and figure it out. If you want to make this work, you're probably going to have to do something different to fit it in. Okay. So nap times are my work time for me, and then don't overcomplicate it, right? We make this so much more complicated than it needs to be, especially when it comes to inviting. Okay, I want to give you guys my invite example from what I would say at the beginning, and then also a follow-up example and a coach invite example. Okay, because I want to show you how not complicated this is. So there's this girl, Sally. I knew her from this. I'm making this up. I knew her from college. I'm going to message her because I see that she's liked a couple of my posts and be like, Sally, I'm doing this new workout program starting on X date, trying to get a group of girls together to do it alongside each other. Do you want to do it with us? That's it. So easy. Don't make it weird, right? If you were getting people at your workplace together to do the Whole 30 challenge, first of all, you wouldn't be weird about inviting people. You'd be like, hey, a bunch of us are going to do the Whole 30 for the month of December. Do you want to do it with us? That's what you would say. It wouldn't be weird. You wouldn't feel weird about it. If someone said no, you wouldn't have a heart attack. It'd be like, okay, they don't want to do the Whole 30. No big deal. So same thing when you invite to your challenge groups. I don't know why. I'm the same thing. I'm the same way, you guys. I don't know why we get ourselves like so up in a tizzy about it. Don't make it weird. Just invite Sally. Just invite her. It's not a big deal. And then when I'm following up, I'm just like, hey, I just want to check back in. Did you want to do that challenge with us? No big deal either way. Just let me know. That's it. That's it. Don't make it weird. Okay. And then when I'm inviting people to coaching, so my like biggest place that I invite people to coaching from is my challenge group. Those are by far my best coaches. And so here's the other thing, you guys, your challenge group is the backbone of your business, is the backbone of your business, because the people who come into your challenge group get amazing results, love the products and programs, get to experience the community. Now, there's going to be some of those unicorns that come straight into coaching and crush it before they've ever done a challenge group. But the majority of, at least for me, my coaches who are killing it with coaching were a challenger first. So I will message them even after a week of them posting consistently in my challenge group. And here's what I say. I'm like, hey, we're going with Sally again. Hey, Sally, first of all, thank you so much for being such an amazing member of our group. You are encouraging other people and you don't even realize it. Second, have you ever thought about doing what I do as a coach? I feel like you'd be amazing at it because XYZ. You're such a natural encourager. You have so much great energy. You're already sharing on social media. So I thank them for being there. And then I always tell them, hey, have you ever considered this? And then tag on like something about them that is true. That's why I see that they would be a really good coach. So again, keep it super simple. I don't overcomplicate it. Again, if you want to be the CEO of your business, we got to keep it simple so that you can, again, teach your future team how to do the same thing. And don't make it weird. Okay. So am I doing the things I need to do to move my business forward? Number 4, what do I need to do to actually propel me forward? So if you're stuck, what do I need to do to move my business forward? Do I need accountability? Let's be honest. Sometimes we like say we're doing the things, but we're not actually doing the things. Or we say we're doing the things and we're like, Paige, I think I need a one-on-one with you because I'm just stuck. And she's like, okay, send me your business activity tracker. And you're like, haven't filled one of those out in a while. We need the accountability. So get in a success pod or get a success partner. You guys, seek this out for yourself. Do not wait for your upline to be like, hey, I think you'd work great with so-and-so. Like, again, you're the CEO, so take ownership and go get with someone. Reach out to somebody on your team or on another team. This could be somebody totally not in your downline and say, hey, here's my goal. Here's what I want to do. Is that similar to your goal? And do you want to hold each other accountable? My first summit ever that I went by myself. I stayed at a hotel that was 10 minutes away and my husband would drop me off to everything and then come pick me up. But my first summit, there was another girl on my like way upline team, who was also an emerald coach. Or maybe I was like barely diamond. I don't know. I didn't have a team at that point, didn't even have a team name, none of that. So we decided that we were going to get in a success pod together. Like, again, no one knew our names. We were, scraping by with Success Club 6, 8, 10. But we both knew that we had big goals. And so we got in a success pod. We started doing weekly Zoom calls to kind of hold each other accountable and be brutally honest with, here's what I'm doing well, here's what I'm struggling with. Let's exchange some ideas. They were really quick, like 30-minute calls once a week. And she's now like, I think she's 12-star diamond now, also elite. I mean, we're a 3-time elite. And so it was so fun to kind of grow together, but we needed that accountability and we sought it out for ourselves. Our upline-ish people had no idea what we were doing. We were just doing it for ourselves because we had goals and we needed the accountability. Okay. So seek that out for yourself. Again, this is something that if you're reading personal development, you're going to hear this all the time. People who are successful surround themselves with other people who either are successful or have the exact same desires for success that they do, right? You've got to get yourself around that kind of energy. And it's even cooler when it's other people who love the Lord, right? And have the same kind of heart behind it as you do. Do I need to get consistent? So maybe you're doing the things sometimes, but you're not doing consistently. Y'all, it is very, very hard to sign up customers and coaches if we're not showing up consistently, because you know what they see? They see someone who's like kind of in, kind of out, posts sometimes, doesn't post other times, and you seem flaky. And why would I want to sign up with a coach who I'm like, I don't know, she might be there for me as a coach. Someday she might not be there for me. We might have a group next month. We might not have a group next month. Like, you want to be the person in their mind where they're like, dude, that girl shows up rain or shine every single day. And I am watching her journey And here's the other thing I hear from people when it comes to social media. They're like, I don't want to be annoying posting the same thing every day. Sis, you're not annoying, you're consistent. And our world needs consistency. You know who else is consistent? Jesus. What a cool thing that we get to reflect, right? Like, he is steadfast, he is consistent, he is steady. And that is a very tangible thing that we get to reflect as coaches in our fitness journey, and posting our devotional every day, and posting encouragement, and being a light, and having positive energy. If we can be that, we're going to be the person that people come to when they're looking for a coach, when they're looking for someone to help them stay accountable. You want to be that person that is fiercely consistent, that they are watching. So maybe you need to get consistent with your power hours. What does that look like? Maybe that means hosting a daily Zoom power hour and offering it to everybody else on your team. Maybe that means putting a tracker on your fridge, and telling your spouse that you're going to do your power hour, and allowing them to ask you if you actually did it. Maybe that means getting up earlier so that you're able to be consistent doing it every single day. If that's the thing that's holding you back from actually being more successful, then get consistent. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's getting organized. Maybe it's following a simple follow-up system, or maybe you need to just practice saying your invite out loud so you get more comfortable with it. But what's the thing that you need to do to actually propel yourself forward so that you can start gaining that confidence that you need? Okay. All right. Last thing. I hear my toddler hollering. Last thing, or what are the things that are slowing me down? Listen, you guys, I hate graphics. I don't make newsletters. I don't like planning content. It's fluff. I don't care if you have the prettiest graphics in the world. If you're not signing up any coaches or signing up any clients, I would rather send a super plain email that has nothing fancy on it to check in with somebody than send a once a week newsletter that I'm putting an hour and a half to, and it's literally not producing any, income producing anything. Right? So sometimes I think we get so caught up in the fluff, or reels. How many people are spending so much time making reels, and you're having zero conversations with people about joining your groups? Listen, I think reels are fun. I'm doing them. I think they're a great way to grow your following and get more eyes on your page, but it can't be the thing that's taking priority over inviting people, over running a killer challenge group, over the things that are actually going to get people results and bring in new clients via conversation and invite. So if the fluff is kind of distracting you and slowing you down, cut the fluff. Who cares? Make an ugly graphic. The person's still going to be pumped that you celebrated them. It doesn't matter. So don't spend so much time on all of these like pretty things when they're not actually helping you to grow. So if you're spending so much time like planning out content for your social media and you haven't crossed off your business activity tracker yet, you're wasting your time. Or maybe, I think this is a big one for a lot of us and things that are slowing us down. Maybe it's comparison. Are you comparing yourself to somebody else's business? Because that doesn't determine your success. Somebody else can be successful and it might look totally different than your journey, right? It doesn't matter. I'm not the person who went elite the fastest. My income didn't grow the fastest. It didn't grow the slowest, but it didn't grow the fastest. And even if it had taken me 5 years to hit elite for the first time, I would have kept going, because it doesn't matter what somebody else is doing. It doesn't matter if someone else goes diamond faster than you, because you're still going to hit it. It's just going to be in your time. And if you're being consistent, you're having joy along the way, and you're actually impacting other people, then aren't you doing our job as a coach? That's the whole point. Okay, so think about what are the things that are slowing me down that I probably need to cut so that I can keep growing and keep hitting my goals. Okay, so the things that you need to focus on to really take ownership of your business. What's my goal with coaching? What's my baseline minimum? That should be Success Club for every single person who's trying to grow an income. Okay, just has to be. Am I doing the things I need to do to move my business forward? What do I need to do to propel me forward? And what are the things that are slowing me down? Those are kind of my 5 things that I do as the CEO of my business to make sure that I'm continuing to grow, to make sure that I am continuing to have fun with my business, but also to help me reach my, maximum potential as the owner of my coach business. Okay, that was a lot. I understand. What questions do you guys have in regards to any of that information or anything unrelated? I haven't looked at the chat at all.
First of all, you have me pumped. I'm like, I need to go work out. I'm like sweating, excited, like go do the work or something. But I do have a question. I was looking at this group that we have here this morning, and we have a really solid group on this call, like people who are working consistently, people who are on the Success Club board / hitting Success Club, and people who want to grow their incomes. Like that's what I see when I look around. So I want to know, when you're making that switch to saying, okay, I'm ready to actually like substantially grow my income and build a team, what are some of your best tips there to make that switch? Because it is a little bit different than working to hit Success Club.
So sorry, 1 second.
No, you're good.
Click one of these. This one? That one? You gotta pick one. There you go. Just watching Mr. Rogers. Okay, so say that again. The switch from like hitting Success Club to really growing an income.
Yes.
Okay, so here's kind of I feel like the biggest like secret to leveling up your income. You guys, people have to stay on supplements. That's gonna be if you're gaining like 3 to 5 new clients every month, and then that's literally the only thing. EJ, I'll be right with you, babe. Can you go sit on the couch, please? And they're not staying on supplements. Listen, it doesn't have to be monthly Shakeology. And I never tell my people like, oh, this is a requirement to be my client. But we should be doing everything we can so that they understand why these supplements are so great. So maybe that means that people are being on Shakeology every other month, or maybe they find that Energize is their favorite thing. Because if we can get in 3 to 5 new clients every month, and keep them on some kind of supplement consistently, then you're going to have that residual income. And that's the part we want, right? That's the part that's going to help it to grow. And also signing up those people who are doing that consistently or are getting results into being coaches, right? Here's where the ripple effect starts. So here's why I'm so passionate about like your challenge group being the backbone of your business, getting people results and then sending them out to kind of like go do the same thing and replicate it. If we can get people doing that, then like, okay, so I added 1 person and now that 1 person is adding 3 people. That's kind of the beauty of network marketing, right? Is we get to have people who are doing the same thing as us and making an impact, but we're not having to bring in those new clients. So that's where I feel like you can really maximize your income, get people to stay on supplements, and to then get those people to even do 1 to 2 customers a month. Maybe they're signing up, maybe they're a hobby coach or something like that, or maybe they are a builder coach, but maybe they're a hobby coach, because then again, you've only signed up 1 customer or 1 coach, 1 client, and now they're adding their own clients and customers. That's again, I feel like how you expand that income probably the quickest. Does that make sense?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Did you, so like with your challenge group, did you, anybody that was like a hobby coach or a coach, did you let them just put people in your group then? Or did you tell them specifically like, hey, at this point you need to like make your own group, or like, how did you do that? Because I feel like, I don't know, I'm an Enneagram 3 too. And I think that this sounds like really prideful and I don't mean for it to be, but I think I set the bar really high with my challenge groups because I literally post every single day.
Yeah.
And I message people almost every week or every couple weeks. I have like 100 some people that I do that with. Mm-hmm. And I think my people, anytime I reach out to people in my challenge group and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're awesome at this. Have you ever thought about coaching with me? Have you ever thought about this? I think they get nervous because they see what I'm doing. And I think they think that they have to do it like that. And they don't even give me the time of day to like really talk about it.
That is really interesting. Probably so, honestly, that probably is a reason why they're being held back. So it would be interesting to have a conversation with them and be like, hey, look, this is how I run my groups. You could actually run these however you want. That's the cool thing about coaching. So maybe it means like having more of a conversation. Maybe it means hosting like a what is coaching webinar and inviting them to that and say, hey, just come and see if it's something that you would enjoy, because I really feel like you'd be amazing at this. And I want you just to kind of hear the different ways that it can be done. So I feel like if you could get them in to kind of just hear like, hey, I do it this way, but you can do it however you want it to look. That's kind of the cool thing about coaching, because yeah, I think that probably is something where they're like, okay, she does it this way, and I don't know if I could put in X amount of work. So I feel like if you could get them to have that kind of conversation, that would be helpful. My hobby coaches, so if there's someone who's like, I'm literally basically a discount coach, but I've had a friend or family member who's wanted to buy something, then I let them add them to my bod group. I'm pretty stingy about like who can add people to my group, because I feel like if I'm going to be putting in all of this work, I don't know. I'm just like pretty stingy about it. But if there's someone who's like a legit hobby coach who's working some of the time, but maybe just doesn't want to like leave their full-time job or something, then I usually try to get like 3 of those coaches together to run a group together so that they can like take turn who posting the content, who's posting the meal plan. It maybe they only each have 5 clients. Well, now they have 15 in their group together. So I'll kind of pair people up and be like, hey, you guys kind of all have the same goal. You guys should run a group together. And I also do that because if I let hobby coaches add people to my group and maybe they are a true hobby coach, they will never be more than that, right? Because I'm always the one that's like doing it. But if 3 of them get together and run a group, now they're taking a little bit of ownership for it. And oftentimes I'll see people who then step up and actually start to add more clients than if I had been the one that was like leading the group. If that makes sense.
So you run all yours on bod groups then?
I have a bod group and a Facebook group, and they're identical, like identical content, but just gives people kind of the option.
Because I feel like I have the opposite problem where I'm recruiting, all of my coaches have been challengers. They're rock star challengers. I recruit them to be a coach. Then they leave my group. Well, then all of my rock star challengers are not bringing that energy into my group anymore. So my groups become dead because I'm recruiting them to coach, and then they start their own little pod. So like, do I just keep trying to get just customers, or, you know what I mean? I'm trying to keep my challenge group lively, but it seemed, I only have a couple consistent people and then they recruit out to be a coach. So
yeah. So are you running in bod groups or challenge groups?
I just switched back to bod groups.
Okay. So leave your people in your bod group. And
Okay.
you know how like when you're going to post, it'll tell you like you can click on or click off which group you're posting to. Have them to post to both groups.
Yeah, that's
so
kind of
they're
why I
still
did
part
that.
of your group. And
That's
I'm always
why I
like,
switched
hey,
back.
stay as a challenger in my group so that you have the accountability yourself and you're still showing up as a challenger, but also run your group. And it's so much easier in bod groups because they're already like, they don't have to post twice. It just, leave their little toggle switched on.
Yeah, that's why I switched back, and I actually invited other coaches to just be a part of my group too. So when they are doing their sweaty selfie, when they're doing their sweaty selfie in their group, then it'll show up in my group too, just like showing that there are more people doing it than just 3 that are showing up in mine.
What else? And you guys don't be afraid to try different things in your group, right? Like that, like I always say, that's the backbone of your business. It really is. And so if that's the main part of my business and it's like kind of flopping, well, okay, I'm not a bad coach. I maybe just need to change some things and figure it out. And what's working well for Paige's group might not be the thing that necessarily works the best for your people. So maybe your people don't want to have to do an individual, if this is on Facebook, don't want to have to do an individual post every day. Maybe you need like one check-in post where everybody posts in the comments, or maybe you need to have a giveaway every once in a while because your people love prizes, or like try different things. My groups have looked so different over the years as I've tried to figure out like, okay, what's working the best, and that's going to change year to year, even as like social media changes and our programs change and all of that. So just keep trying and figuring out like, okay, what's working the best, what's creating the most engagement. and what's helping my people get the best results at the end of the day. Yeah, I want to know everyone's Enneagram type.
Anybody else have questions? Don't miss your opportunity to ask. Okay.